Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranams to all. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavatha Sevaya. And today we'll be playing the recorded class of His Holiness Bhakti Vinoda Swami Maharaj. And the topic is Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 1st chapter, verse 17. Krishna, let me share.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the shloka. What's the shloka? 17. Canto 5, Chapter 1, the activities of Maharaja Priyavrata, text 17. Vayam pramattasya vaneshvu api syad yadah sa aste sahashat asapatnah jitendriyasyatmarater buddhasya grihashamah kim nu karoti avadyam. Please repeat. Vayam pramattasya vaneshvu api syad yatah sa aste sahashat sapatnah jitendriyasyatmarater buddhasya griha shamah kim no karoti avadyam. Vayam, fear, pramattasya, of one who is bewildered, vaneshu, in forests, api, even, syat, there must be, yataha, because, saha, he, one who is not self-controlled, aste, is existing, saha, with, shat sapatnah, 6 co-wives, jita indrasya, for one who has already conquered the senses, atmaratehe, self-satisfied, buddhasya, for such a learned man, griha ashramah, household life, kim, what, nu, indeed, karoti, can do, avadyam, harm. Translation: even if he goes from forest to forest, one who is not self-controlled must always fear material bondage because he is living with 6 co-wives, the mind and knowledge acquiring senses. Even householder life, however, cannot harm a self-satisfied conquered his senses. Srila Narottama Das Thakura has sung, Griheva vanete thake, ha gauranga bhale dhake. Whether one is situated in the forest or at home, if he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, of Lord Chaitanya, he is liberated. He is a liberated person. Here, this is also repeated. For one who has not controlled his senses, going to the forest to become a so-called yogi is meaningless because his uncontrolled mind and senses are going with him. He cannot achieve anything, even by giving up household life and staying in the forest. Formerly, many mercantile men from the upcountry of India used to go to Bengal. Thus, there is a familiar saying, if you go to Bengal, your fortune will go with you. Our first concern, therefore, should be to control the senses. And since the senses cannot be controlled, unless engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, our most important duty is to engage the senses in devotional service. Rishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Bhakti means engagement of the purified senses in the service of the Lord. Herein, Lord Brahma indicates that instead of going to the forest with uncontrolled senses, it is better and more secure to engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Even household life can do no harm to a self-controlled person acting in this way. It cannot force him into material bondage. Srila Rupa Goswami has further enunciated this position. Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira nikhilashva api avastasu even muktah sa uchyate. Regardless of one's circumstances, if one fully engages his activities, mind and words in the devotional service of the Lord, he should be understood to be a liberated person. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura was a responsible officer and a householder, yet his service to the cause of expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is unique. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakura says, Durdantendriya kala sarpa patali prokta ta dhamstrayate. The sense organs are certainly our greatest enemies. They are therefore compared to venomous serpents. However, if a venomous serpent is bereft of its poison fangs, it is no longer fearful. Similarly, if the senses are engaged in the service of the Lord, there is no need to fear their activities. The devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement move within the material world. But because their senses are fully engaged in the service of the Lord, they are always aloof from the material. They are always living in a transcendental position. Om Tat Sat Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we are seeing Brahma trying to convince Priyavrata that he should not prematurely cease from doing his duties in the name of Krishna consciousness, in the name of being free from material entanglement. But he should accept Grihastha life. He should perform his duty for the sake of the people, that he is supposed to be a king and he should be that king. And by being that king, he will be able to engage himself in devotional service to the Lord with all his faculties, his brain, his intelligence, his mind, his body. And in this way, he'll completely be absorbed in the service of the Lord. And people will benefit by that because they'll be guided, they will have a leader, and they will be directed. This is very necessary. So he's telling him reasons and logic for doing this. And he's saying, if you go off away from your duty, don't think you'll be able to control your senses and mind. You stay alone somewhere in the forest and try to be renounced like you're trying to be, that will actually create a different effect for you because you're not yet capable of doing that. You're a young man and you should act practically because the same thing you can achieve by being the king and executing and using all your senses and mind very vigorously engaged in the service of the Lord. This is natural. So he's saying, going into further detail and saying, don't think there is no grahastha life in the forest. In fact, if you get married, you'll get married only to one wife. But you go to the forest, you'll be practicing polygamy. Why? You'll be going with 6 wives. Don't think there are no wives for you. 6 wives, your senses, your 5 senses and the mind, they will go with you. Very powerful logic he's saying. They will go with you. And since you are not externally married, they will harass you. But if you get married, these 6 co-wives will come under that wife, that only wife, legal wife, and they will all be thoroughly controlled. If you don't accept a wife, these 6 wives, since you are not trained, will take over you. This is the logic he's saying. Because nobody is alone like you think you want to be. I want to be free from that, free from that, free from this, and alone. That's the whole point. The point is, don't think if you don't have anything to do, and if you're free, you're very successful in your renunciation. I finally managed not to do anything. I managed myself out of any type of work. Now I can meditate on the Lord. Now only you cannot meditate on the Lord. Now is the time onwards you cannot meditate on the Lord. Why? You will be eaten up from inside out. Externally, you thought that from outside in I will be eaten up by a wife and by other things. But you don't understand that you're already married. When you come into this world, you're already married. Why? You got these senses. So Prabhupada is quoting here Prabodhananda Saraswati. Damstendriya kala sarpa patali proktaha damstrayate. Isn't it? He's saying that by devotional service, very beautiful verse, he's saying Kaivalyam narakayate tridashapur akasha pushpayate. Kaivalya is narakam. Trying to merge into the Lord is hellish. And Tridashapur Akasha Pushpayate means enjoying the heavenly planets by karma is Akasha Pushpa, flower in the sky. It is not true. And these senses of yours, they will best be treated by engaging them in the service of the Lord. Means they are like snakes. But if you engage them in the service of the Lord, it's like a snake whose teeth has been taken out, his fangs have been taken out. Kala sarpa patali damstrayate. Take off their teeth, poisonous teeth and their fangs. Then whatever he does is a very useless snake because he can't harm you. So engaging the senses and the mind in the service of the Lord is completely the best way to tame the senses. It's like pulling out their fangs and pulling out their teeth. They can't bite you anymore. They're just there. That's all. He's explaining this and telling that is a better thing to do for you because you are a person born into this material world with a certain level of gunas influence on you, a particular type of horoscope, and all these things put together. So to impractically think that all that effect will stop all of a sudden by going to the forest and thinking there is not a good plan. Better you engage yourself in that. So this is something that everybody can actually experience. If you don't know anything about the fact that you are not this body, your spirit, soul, and the senses, and the mind, and the intelligence, and all the hierarchy and the structure or anything, it will be difficult for you to understand. But if you study and understand, I am a spirit soul, this body, and I am trapped. This is the arrangement given to me. I must learn the science of how this operates. And then I must accordingly deal with it. If you don't learn these things, you will not be able to plan your escape. You have to learn. You have to understand. And you have to learn how to operate, how to apply by taking recourse and taking shelter of Guru. Taking shelter of Guru, taking shelter of Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. And in their company only you will learn how to do this. This is not something that you can do on your own. It's a very deadly mamamaya duratyaya. Mame vaye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. Only can you surpass this only if you surrender to me. These are all very solid, serious utterances by Krishna. There is no shortcut to all these things. You have to learn to surrender to Krishna. You have to learn that you are a prisoner under complete control and you have no control over it. The great surprise to people is you have no control over yourself. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in it. And they repeatedly keep telling, no, 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 and keep doing what they want to do. And they repeatedly keep failing also. They won't agree. You're only in a position of control when you are engaged in the service of the Lord and you are acting as a servant of the Lord through your senses and your mind. That time you have some sort of control. That is the only pathway outside. Only single way of coming out of it is to, under a bona fide guru, engage your senses and mind in the service of Krishna, at least initially as a sadhaka. So therefore, you are not expected to be very independently capable. No, many things will happen because you're not well trained. So if you try without any training, without any guru, something, go to the forest and I'll try, immediately they catch hold of you. All the 6 co-wives of yours will immediately take you. The whole operation of Maya is how to get you away from the association of Vaishnavas, how to get you away from Guru, how to get you away so that I can attack you alone. Because these people don't allow me to actually take control. Why? Their influence is very powerful. The influence of a pure devotee of the Lord, the influence of Vaishnavas, the influence of sadhana bhakti process is what is protecting us. So you're asked to remain always inside that. But what Maya is trying to do is to create problems, misunderstanding, so that you will step out. When you step out and you're alone, you're exposed, then you can be shot. This is the exact program. So Maya will operate in all possible ways to make you come out of that system that is set up. Prabhupada said, I have hatched a transcendental plot. How to take living entities, put them in the shelter of Krishna, and take them back to Godhead. This is the meaning of Founder Acharya. What are people in Kali Yuga normally up to? What is their proclivity? What is their inclination? How to craft this process of Krishna consciousness with Lord Chaitanya's thing, put them inside, keep them secure. So I don't have to be there, nobody has to be there. They do this and follow the words of the Acharya, you can remain completely protected. But if you don't, you'll come out, you'll be unprotected. And that is what always the material energy will try to do to you. And this is real. There is war. The real war is not the one going on somewhere in Afghanistan or some other place. The best and the biggest war going on is inside you. Inside you. And it is terrorism at its height also. You're being terrorized. Mama Maya Duratyaya. You dare you escape. This is Maya Shakti. People don't understand. They just walk into the arms of Maya. Koto nidra jao Maya Pishachira kole. Sleeping on the lap of Maya and she's giving you feeding bottle. Don't worry, be with me. I will help you. You want material enjoyment? Here, take. Plenty I'll give you so that you will remain in my grasp. And you feel very comfortable. You actually are the best person. I like you very much because you give me a lot of material enjoyment. And you give me, this is the problem. That even the Acharya cannot protect you. If you desire to do the other way. Like in that famous letter of Prabhupada, the devotee is writing to him, Prabhupada, what can I do? Maya is very strong. He's trying to tell Prabhupada the same thing Prabhupada told him. He goes out of the movement, runs away with some lady somewhere, and this thing. Then he's feeling guilty also. He has done something wrong. So he writes to Prabhupada saying that, I am very sorry I had to leave without consulting you. Maya is very strong. Like that he wrote. Tak, Prabhupada got out of that. You don't tell me Maya is strong. I am the one who told you Maya is strong and gave you a process how to stay inside that. And now you are telling me I went off because you said no, Maya is very strong. That's what happened to me. I went off. So Prabhupada is writing, with one kick, I know how to handle that Maya. The problem is you did not listen to me. You did not listen to me. And therefore you made Maya strong. Right? You made Maya strong. Very, very funny letter Prabhupada has written. With one kick of mine, I know how to handle that Maya. Very powerful words. He said. So Prabhupada has crafted a process. You must remain within that. Otherwise the co-wives will take over you. Otherwise that is why it says, get married to one wife, remain satisfied, and execute Krishna consciousness for the protection. So the wife is called a fort. She is supposed to be the fort within which, in a controlled way, you can actually practice your material life and focus a lot on your spiritual life. So these are all not simply whimsical things done by somebody. There is a process. There is a whole system, Varnashrama system. It is crafted, it is designed so that a spirit soul, by following these religious regulations, one by one, they can actually climb up and go back to Godhead. Krishna is not simply made all these systems simply whimsically something. There is a plan behind. And the Acharya is also coming as a representative of the Supreme Lord. In this day and age, he is also crafting a whole process. Paka, in Kali Yuga, what you should do, how the living entity should be protected. This is what is the discussion 88,000 sages had in Naimisharanya, the beginning of Kali Yuga. They are all very worried. great care for all the people of this world. They have discussed and they have put the Bhagavatam in place. They have put the Harinama in place, and they have put a whole system in place. If you do this, you will be protected. So, you intelligent person should take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Not that you become Adhika Prasangi. I know more, that I will go and do myself. I will become this thing. So Brahma is coming here and telling Priyavrata, you don't know, you're too young. It is not that, you have to be, renunciated like this, what you're saying. You can very well be doing this and be in a better, safer position. And you can execute devotional life like this. So he's telling him the reality will be, it has happened in the past. Vishwamitra Muni also said the same thing and went to the forest. And one simple, small anklet bell of Menaka he heard, and that's it. After that, everything changed in his life. Menaka's ankle bells cling, they rang, and after that, the whole chapter changed in his life. Previously, he was fighting with Vashishta so much. I am Brahma Rishi, I am this, I can do this, I can do this, everything. Just one small incident was enough. So, it is not easy, not at all easy. We must follow the system. So Brahma is coming to institute the system and tell Priyavrata, there is no necessity for you to do this. Rather, you should follow the regular route and be a good example. As the son of the king, you must become the next person who will occupy the throne. You occupy the throne, you rule, you engage yourself in consciousness. By this is a service to the Lord. It is not something separate from your goal of life. It's not something separate from your goal of life. Don't think that ruling the kingdom is not my business. I should go to the forest and meditate and go back to Godhead. No, you can go back to Godhead like this also. In fact, this is a better way, considering the situation. So Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada also has crafted the International Society for Krishna. Put it inside the material world. Anybody and everybody who engages himself as a service in the organization, according to Prabhupada's instructions, in the system that he has set up, will become qualified to go back to Godhead. Anything you do in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness under the authority, not anything you do full stop, anything you do guided under the authority, you will actually be adding to your sukruti, your devotional bank balance. There may be little difficulty, there may be little problem, there may be little misunderstanding because it's part of material life. But you must understand that this is devotional service. Whether you sweep the floor or you work for giving the accounts in time, or you work on a project, or you go and collect money, or you worship the deities, all of them are solid devotional service going into your account. It's not that you should make another philosophy that because of this engagement, I am not able to chant properly, I am not able to read properly, I am not able to, I should stop this and I should do that. And mostly people will sleep. All these great people who stop doing this type of engagement, thinking that it is not correct, it is karma yoga, I want bhakti yoga. I see all sorts of arguments. You mean to say Prabhupada does not know what he is doing? He did not do and show. Did he not go and fight the person? What is it, Mr. N in Bombay? Actually, did he not actually do this by traveling all over the world, looking after, going to the bank, drawing money, and doing projects and all that? Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaiki. You mean to say what he did you should not do because you are better off, more smarter than Prabhupada? Prabhupada is a different generation. Obviously, you should do. It is just that what consciousness you have while doing it. Anything can be done for Krishna where it is necessary. So anybody who serves this movement under the authority properly He is adding to his own bank balance. It is not that somebody else is benefiting. All these are material considerations. All these are material considerations. If I give my energy, that person will benefit. If I give here this, I will do something separate and get it. These are all material. These are all very bad, poor. Rather, you should see Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu means what is good for me, for my spiritual life. How I will take advantage of this situation and engage myself. Why am I bothered? You told me to do, I am under you and I do it and I execute that. It's gone to my account. It will definitely go to your account. Even if you think, even if sometimes the authority is not properly told you something, still you have sincerely done, you will get the benefit for that. You will get the benefit for that. Because Krishna, Paramatma in your heart, recognizes your sincerity, recognizes your desire to follow the order of the founder Acharya, and you will get benefit for that. Because everything that you do, you are going to get benefit. Externally, maybe the society is getting benefit. It will, do something and people will appreciate and all that. And maybe you are not appreciated because you are one small cog in the wheel. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Whatever devotional service you do is actually helping you. The example Prabhupada is given, the Bhagavatam also is given. If you stand in front of the mirror and decorate yourself, the benefit is going to you. You only will look more beautiful. It is not that the mirror image alone is looking beautiful. You're watching and you're putting all this makeup and everything and looking very nice. Finally, you're the one who's benefited. So Bhagavatam says this example and says, if you render to the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead through any of the agencies, it is you who is becoming more beautiful. It is actually going on you. So it does not matter that the organization is benefiting or somebody is benefiting. You are the first beneficiary. Krishna is noticed. And he is in your heart as Paramatma. You get the benefit. You get the benefit. Very beautiful example. Prabhupada is saying that since we are part and parcels of Krishna, if we decorate Krishna, we will become decorated. He's giving purport to this very nicely. Since we are part and parcels of Krishna, if you decorate Krishna, you will remain decorated. So if anything you do for Prabhupada's movement with a good intention, under good guidance, right? You will be the beneficiary. You will be the beneficiary. That is wisdom. Very deeply Prabhupada has thought about these things and crafted this movement. Not just ordinary. Anybody can do service forever, for so long, thousands and thousands of years, and they will be benefited. Right? So you can avoid polygamy. You can avoid even monogamy by simply remaining completely engaged, your five senses and your mind in the service of millions of things to do. You can get absorbed. Whatever by the arrangement of the Lord has come in front of you as a proposal, simply engage yourself in that. And then you will see that you will be able to be successful. Just like Priyavrata becomes very successful because he hears the good advice given by Brahma. And he knows my grandfather Brahma definitely must be very experienced. Because my father and my grandfather together are counseling me and telling me. If I say no, I am doomed. He was very smart. There must be something good about this. Narada Muni is also there. The same person who counseled him and made him such a fiery devotee. He is also there. So all of them together told him. So he accepted. He became a very successful devotee and a very successful king. He was so successful, and his wife Barhishmati he got married to. She was very beautiful, very talented, and a wonderful support for him. She was great inspiration for him to do all these activities as an emperor, to such a great extent that he thought even the sun planet Surya is able to give light only to one side of the earth planet. The other side is dark. Other side also should get. So he ran a parallel this thing, so that will also be illuminated. Something like that. He did an amazing thing. So his feats were all very amazing. He turned out to be materially and spiritually super successful. He did great devotional service. And he went back to Godhead. How did he go back to Godhead? At the correct time, he started feeling, Cheh, why did I get married to Barishmati and spoil everything? I should become serious. Suddenly he turned. He retired, he renounced, and he went to the forest and he became totally free, went back to Godhead. At the right time, Krishna also introduced him to understand. Now it is required for you to think the other way. This is useful for your Krishna consciousness. He became renounced, he left his wife, he left everything together and became a fiery devotee. Back. Got it. Everything was successful for Priyavrata because he followed the instructions of Brahma. He knew these are all great people talking. Brahma is the supermost intelligent person. And he's nicely telling, I know what you want, you will get what you want, plus you will get something more, plus I will get what I want, plus he will get, everybody will get. So why you want to deny all of us and think that you know best and go and do something which is going to most probably not work out very well for you? He heeded to that advice. So we should take good advice, should engage ourselves in the service of the Lord within the Krishna conscious community. And we will definitely be Prabhupada's wonderful crafting is the solution to many, many problems. Society, the community, and personally for ourselves. Deeply read Prabhupada's instructions, you can understand. So just like Brahma is giving counseling to Priyavrata, constantly, like our grandfather, Prabhupada is giving us counseling through his book, lectures. Take that very carefully and file a divorce against the co-wives, against the 6 co-wives, and take full-time consciousness as your main focus. And we can definitely proudly say that a person will does that guaranteed to be successful. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaura Premanande. Question Sundara Murari Das. We follow the generic instructions of the authority after first initiation. Does following specific instruction mean acting under authority? You always act under authority, whether it's specific or general. General instructions and quite some specific instructions are given by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for ISKCON, how it should function, what you should do personally for your own life. Then there are authorities who are also available in the structure. Sometimes it may not be very much in place properly or something, but the framework is definitely there. And for a specific service, there are specific instructions given by the concerned authority. And if we take those specific instructions, can we do specific service? And if you're talking about specific instruction for difficulties and problems and issues that you may have, it also needs to be addressed by your authority or by the system set up by the authority, and accordingly, we should carry out. So generic instructions are instructions. Everybody should chant Hare Krishna. You should be a devotee. You should, come for Mangalarati. You should be part of the community. There are many generic instructions. There are also specific instructions because you're doing something very specific. That also are given. Both are important. Both are important, and accordingly carry out. Any other question or comment? Anybody's got a question or comment? Yeah. It's not different. Even Narada Muni does not oppose Brahma. You don't see that Narada Muni is saying, no, I have taught him to be this. Narada Muni does what he is supposed to do. The sannyasi is a freewheeling, freelancing preacher, and he will do. What is that? Go back to Godhead. That's what he did to Daksha's sons also. That's what he did to many. He will do. But here Brahma is coming in saying, what Narada Muni told you, you will get that also. Plus this also, your duty. And your father is waiting to retire. How can you leave him go? These things are important, you should do. If a situation comes where I can practice my Krishna consciousness like that, then why not? So Narada Muni will say, okay, to do. Because it's not anyway detracting from what I have told you. Right? So it doesn't say here that Narada Muni went against. It doesn't say that. Narada Muni obviously understood the plan. Brahma is his father. So certain things we don't argue. When Narada Muni said, okay, tatastu, that's what my father thinks. Swayambhu Manu was definitely very happy. My son is asking very difficult questions which I am not an answer. So Brahma has come and he said, you must. So the situation was like that. So it is not that what Narada Muni said is wrong. Narada Muni, what he said is correct. What Brahma is saying also is correct. Why? Because he is the higher authority. He is Narada's father, and he's taken the instruction of Narada Muni also into account, and Swayambhu Manu's concern into account, and his own concern also into account. The world needs a person like that. So he is asking, do this, you will get that, this is also, what's your problem? It was not something that was against Narada Muni's purpose. So he got that. So it is a harmonious, Brahma can give that type of a. Sometimes we have to agree with certain things, although we may have some other type of great plan, because it's your authority telling you. We must not be very independently. See, Prabhupada said you must be independently thoughtful, but you must not become so independent that you become totally independent of the authority also. Independently thoughtful as long as you remain within the authority structure and within the authority's desire and everything. It's not that you have to be completely off. And no authority is going to sit on top of you like that all the time and govern every thought of yours. Such a toxic authority should definitely be given up. But because somebody gives you the freedom, doesn't mean you should be so independent as to go and screw yourself up. That is the whole thing. Priyavrata's independent individuality and authority is not being questioned. But he is being requested that it looks like you did not understand that in your position, how you can also help out your father, help out me, help out Narada Muni, help out all the citizens here who are waiting for. And what is wrong? You'll still get what you want. Person should be happy to do that, and that's what. So the desire of Narada Muni is also taken care of. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaura Prema.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thanks a lot for attending. Let me unmute first. Unmute. Stop.